Hey guys, this is it. Video is going to be on Google Analytics Enhanced E-commerce. This is kind of by popular demand since the last one got so many views. And what you're going to have is on your e-commerce site, you want to identify your funnel. So you're going to open up your inspector. You're going to go view, where is it? Tools, browser tools, and you're going to go to inspect, web developer tools, whatever, or you can right click inspect. It's going to send you here. You're going to go to this little icon with the arrow there inside the square. Click on your price. It's going to highlight this blue area. You're going to double click and highlight the class, right? And I know if you hit like Control F, you'll search here. All right, Control F. I happen to know that this is the only class of its type on this page. You can see it says 1 of 1, so that'll impact what you do next. I'm basing it on this blog if you want to follow through, but essentially you're going to paste that class here. So, and you can test it. You're going to do document get elements by class name, put your class in quotes, the brackets with the 0, and it means this is the first instance, in our case the only instance of that class on the page, so we're selecting that element. You're going to get the inner text of that element, which is the $597 USD, right, from there. And then you're going to slice to take off the $sign in the front. That's the first position of the first character in the text. And you're also going to chop off the last 4 in that slice. So that's the -4 is taking away the last 4 characters. That gets rid of the USD and the space before it. So now we have the 597.00. That's what the value we need to send to Google Analytics. And so you'll name that variable as revenue for your enhanced e-commerce. These are specific names set by Google, so revenue has to be called the revenue variable. I'll show you what I mean later. And you're going to do that inside of something called a custom JavaScript variable in Google Tag Manager. So Google Tag Manager is going to pull this information into the revenue variable and send it over to Google Analytics. So it looks like this in Google Tag Manager. You're going to open a variable. You're going to choose the custom JavaScript variable. You have different options. You're going to come down here, choose custom JavaScript variable. It has this format where you start with function, you name your variable, and then you return whatever variation of that variable that you're trying to use. In our case, it says purchase price here, but what you really want to use is revenue. Or actually, it's going to go into a certain format, so the name of the variable itself isn't so important. But what is important is that when you use it, you specify that it's going to be whatever. So what's this one? Purchase price. It has to come after this revenue name in this object. So revenue purchase price. Probably smarter for you to call it revenue, whatever you want to call it. But the variable you're creating in a custom JavaScript variable goes here. You can kind of follow along with this blog, and you have to do the same thing with every element required in the Google Analytics Enhanced E-commerce object, right? So you got to get the shipping variable for the shipping object. Same idea. Take the inner HTML, figure out the tag name or class name or ID to grab based on what your console inspector is telling you is unique about that particular item. And then you're going to push all that information to the data layer, right? So after you get your shipping or your revenue, you're going to push it to the data layer. And then from the data layer, it will be sent to Google Analytics. So it looks like this. Event, EEE transaction. This is the standard like boilerplate stuff you have to send over to Google Analytics. E-commerce is an e-commerce object. The currency code in my case is USD for United States dollars. This is a purchase object. The action field, that's standard. And then from shipping, you're gonna put in your shipping code, right? So fair shipping, shipper entering HTML, data layer push, shipping. For revenue, you're going to use the revenue code, the revenue variable that you defined that I showed you earlier. For tax, if you see tax, you're going to push the tax variable here And if you have a product ID, you're going to put the product ID here. If you have a products array, right, for whatever's in your cart, you're going to create an array for that shopping cart list, push all that into this variable, and then this complete object here will send what you need into your Google Analytics, enhanced e-commerce, and you'll see your entire purchase funnel broken down with conversion rates and all that in your Google Analytics enhanced e-commerce reports. Now in GA4, I haven't set that up before. In GA4, I've still been using the Universal Analytics when I first set this up, so I have to go and see what the reports look like, how they're different in GA4. But I hope that gives you a idea of how to at least set it up for GA4, and you can kind of follow along with this blog post if you needed any help. But yeah, that's the gist of setting up your enhanced e-commerce, how to grab all the classes and stuff, the tag stuff from your website's source code or the inspector, the HTML, push it into the data layer, right? When you get that variable defined using your document get elements by, push that into the data layer, and then you're gonna have that object for enhanced e-commerce transaction sent to Google Analytics. Hope that helps, guys. If you have any questions, let me know.